Hey guys, welcome back to another video, and today we are playing Red Orchestra 2. And this map is one of my favorites, if not my favorite, and it's a lot of fun to play even as the Germans, even if you play as the Germans or the Soviets. And I'm also a bit frustrated because this is my third attempt at making this video. The first time I was interrupted because the dog was barking. The second time it was almost the end of the battle, and then my PC decided to crash. So, which sucks because I was so close to finishing that.
Враг почти загнал нас в Волгу, но всех нас не перебить. Своей атакой мы выиграем время для наших братьев. Победа или смерть! В атаку! В атаку!
This game is of course the successor to Red Orchestra 1. It was released in 2011, so it's obviously it's an older game. However, they did a good job. I think, in my opinion, the graphics still hold up to this day. I mean, they're not like I guess I was gonna say they're not like HD quality, and I guess they really aren't, but they're not Battlefield 5 level, but they're definitely still good.
Ну давай же!
An interesting thing about this, when it comes to this game, is that it was made with Unreal Engine 3. And I find that interesting because, I mean, of course, even if it wasn't made with Unreal Engine 3, I wouldn't be surprised if this was the case. However, what I was going to say is that that means this, in of course 2011, was probably the best looking game you could find. I don't remember, feel free to correct me if I'm wrong, however, I'm pretty sure that Red Orchestra 1 was also made using Unreal Engine. Oh. I'm not sure if I got him or not. I don't think I did. Oh. Someone did. Okay, that's a lot of guys.
Высылайте подкрепление!
I expected that to be empty already. Obviously that was a mistake because I just wasted my last bullet. Well, the last bullet for that clip. What I do like about this game is that if you hold down R, it will tell you how much bullets are, well, how many bullets are in your magazine. And yes, this gun does have a magazine. It's just an internal magazine. Actually, I think, yeah, right below the furniture at the very bottom of the screen, you can see it. You can see the magazine on the Mosin, however, which is what rifle this is. However, it's not easy to see. Well, it's not easy to see. Sorry, I'm like doing two things at once, of course. It's external, however, you can't remove it.
Ну давай же! Со страху!
Sometimes, like with the Lee Enfield, you could remove magazines. However, that wasn't for reloading, that was really just for cleaning the gun.
Немцы уж небось обгадились со страху!
This, I think, is one of my, if not my favorite World War II game. Battlefield 5, I think, is a close second. Even with its lack of realism sometimes. But this game, I think, is one of my, well, is my favorite World War II game. It's older, but it is a lot of fun, so if you, well, here's, I guess, a little, sample of a before you buy segment, which I do want to do. This game is a lot of fun, and if you're thinking about buying it, I say go for it. It's worth every penny, in my opinion. And then my opinion part sounded better in my head. You just have to be patient with these bolt actions. Oops. Of course, you have to rack the bolt before you can shoot again, so you just have to be patient. You can't just run and gun like you can in Call of Duty. And when it comes to bullets, obviously this game, even with a well-placed pistol shot, it will kill them in one shot. I mean, it's not like well-placed, it's not super well-placed shot, but then again, it's not like air quotes well-placed to the point where you get one-shotted by a pistol every 10 seconds. That's not what it's like. However, I assume that this game has some sort of shot mechanics. However, if you want to get a one-shot, I recommend aiming, in this game, I recommend aiming for the, I guess, upper stomach and above. I usually just aim, I aim center mass, which seems to be working for now. And if you're running, oh, apparently not. I guess I'll show you now. And plus, if you're running, you can do a bayonet charge like you can in Red Orchestra 1, which I know I've done. Except in this game, it's a Ura charge. Ura charge, obviously, because Russia. I will be doing a video on Rising Storm 1 and Rising Storm 2. Rising Storm 1 actually came with this. It's not really a bundle. I mean, both of the games were just shoved together, which kind of bothers me, but at the same time, I don't mind it. And then Rising Storm 2, of course, it's a completely separate thing. Rising Storm 1 is the Pacific theater of World War II, and Rising Storm 2 is Vietnam, and there actually is a mod for Rising Storm 2 that adds this map to the game. It's not a World War War II mod, it just adds this map to the game. I thought that was funny. Because this does not look like Vietnam. I know to a certain extent Red Orchestra 1 and Red Orchestra 2 and Rising Storm 1, Rising Storm 2, you can still find very, very populated servers. Check out, I would also recommend looking at the Steam page for 83. It's a game that's being made by Tripwire. Well, I don't know about Tripwire, however, I do know that the team that made Rising Storm 2 is working on that. It's a Cold War gone hot game, which is definitely not influenced by Black Ops Cold War. Looks pretty cool. Oh, I was more out of ammo than I thought I was. Standing out in the open probably isn't a good idea, but I'm going to do it. And I assume I'll be regretting it sort. Hey, look at that! I'm regretting it. Oh. Obviously, I don't know how long this video is. I guess I'll find out when I look at the timestamp. But this map takes longer to play. However, it's definitely worth it. This game is kind of like Breakthrough. The game mode that we're playing, well, that I'm playing right now is the one that this game is based around, which is Territory. That's what all the Rising Storm and Red Orchestra games are based around. But it's not even basically. It's Breakthrough, except obviously BF5 got inspiration from this game. Speaking of Battlefield 5, I am planning on making more Battlefield 5 more Battlefield 5 content. However, I can't at the moment because PS Plus. However, I am also considering buying Battlefield 5 on Steam for that exact issue. However, my problem with that is that it's gigantic. Well, when it comes to the amount of storage space I have left. I should just call this game I Ramble while I play Red Orchestra 2. Here you go, forget Red Orchestra 2 Part 1, it's just me rambling. I would also leave in the comments, because I have been thinking about doing this, I think, pretty much since I've started making Battlefield 5 content on the channel. I've been thinking about making a World War II segment, and I was thinking about like playing a game like this, for example, and playing a map and going over the real life battle. Obviously to be more focused, I'd probably have to do gameplay in the background and just do a voiceover or something like that. But I would like to know what you guys would think of that. In the future, I don't know how long, I don't know how far, I assume soon. I'm planning on doing a Before You Buy segment. There we go. Okay, sorry. I'm gonna do a Before You Buy segment, and I'm also thinking about doing more no commentary stuff, because I know that sometimes the commentary can be annoying, and believe me, I understand. I don't want to listen to people go, "Oh, did you do that?" in the background the whole time. And I noticed that finding no commentary content is sometimes pretty hard, so... Oh. That's the one thing I don't like about the bots in this game. They seem to get headshot. Whoa. They seem to get headshots every single time. I mean, it's not realistic. It's not to the point where you're getting headshot every time you get killed, but it's definitely annoying. No SL. Oops. I must say, the bots are actually, they did a pretty good job with the bots, honestly. Because I will admit, these bots, you know, I should probably get out of here. Oh, these bots, they're pretty much as good as the players. And I know that probably sounds like crap to you, but from what I noticed of my experience in a multiplayer game, the bots are actually pretty close, if not equal, to the way that the players are when it comes to experience level, at least of the average player. Of course, there will be more experienced individuals. The online servers are a lot of fun. There, my CQB Mosin, because that would work. Actually, no, I think that would just blind you. Shooting a 7.62x54R cartridge out of a really short barrel probably isn't a good idea. Well, actually, no, not probably. It's not a good idea. Excuse me, I'm sorry. It's not a good idea. They're still calling me a sharpshooter. I mean, it makes sense, but that's what I am, but I'm not even using the scope. Man, I thought I was going to do more sniping, but apparently not. Oh, hey. Oh god, I did not expect that. Oh, okay. Guess that's what I get for doing that. Also, I want to bring this up as well. I know I say, oh god, a lot. And I know to some people that's probably offensive. Well, not probably, to some people that's offensive, and I apologize. I don't mean to offend anyone. It's just I have pretty much gotten in the habit of saying that. I will try to make an effort to say gosh more, so that way the people that are sensitive to, you know, that are more religious don't get offended, because I don't. Oh god, gosh, probably shouldn't have gotten into that topic. Oh, I don't want to offend anyone. I just want to make videos and honestly, I know I don't get a lot of views, but making videos is fun, so. Also, I know I have been talking about it for a long time, and I know I've been talking about it a long time, and yes, I will be making another camping video. I'm saying that like you guys have been complaining about it, which, newsflash, you haven't. If, you know, because I have to tell you that. However, it is coming, hopefully soon. 1,300 meters. That's a funny thing. I assume that in this game, I assume that they did at least some homework when it comes to the ranges on the rifles. However, the Kar 98, which is the standard issue German rifle from 1935 to 1945, roughly. I think it was replaced when the Germany was divided. But in this game, the range goes up to 2,000 meters, which from what I remember, that is accurate. I find that funny though, because I never find myself using this range over 200 meters. Which of course makes sense, because World War II is pretty much the start of modern day warfare as we know it today, at least. Of course, it's changed a bit since then, however. It definitely isn't running from. It definitely isn't mass assaults from trenches. I'm gonna have to use my rifle for that shot. I'm going to use my scope for this shot just because I can. And he might already be dead. Wow, did you see that amazing sniper shot? 10 meters. It's ridiculous. Actually no, not meters, 10 miles. That was 10 miles. Amazing, right? Now, I don't think I've mentioned this. I apologize. I've done that. Like I said, this is the third attempt at recording this video, so I'm getting some stuff mixed up, I think. But my plan is, for those of you who enjoyed the Red Orchestra 1 series, I'm not done with that. What I'm going to do is make 3 parts for all the series. So Red Orchestra 1, 3 parts, and then I'm going to make this series, Red Orchestra 2, with 3 parts, then Rising Storm 1 with 3 parts, and then Rising Storm 2 with 3 parts. That, of course, will not be the end of the series. However, I just want to have a decent starting point. That way, if people want to watch the series, they don't have 1 video to watch. They can watch 3, while the 4th is in the making. That's my plan so far for any of you, because I know that my series on Red Orchestra 1 got a lot of views. So, I just want to say that, so that way if anyone's disappointed about it, it's not the end. Also, I got a lot of views on Red Orchestra 1, so I have high hopes for this one. However, even if I don't get a lot of views, I'm still going to continue making this series, simply because I want to. This game is not that... I don't think this game has ever been very, very popular, and I think it deserves more attention. So I think I'm going to do a fairly large, if not multiple series on... on this game, because I think this game should have more attention. This is one of the best World War II games, in my opinion. Also, speaking of what I said about the AI earlier, obviously AI don't just run past you. Oh. Players do that. Okay, I guess I'm not spying on the squad leader. We'll do that. Alright, this is the beginning of the final assault. This is, I almost said usually, this is the most difficult part of the assault. And the cool thing is, which I like, some people might get frustrated by it, but I like it. If you're playing as the Germans, and I guess even if you're playing as the Soviets, but the Germans can hold out until the end of the game and they will win. I like that. Gives the enemy a chance to win. Oh, I was pressing N, not Alt.
Немецкая пехота, вон там!
Okay.
Пулемет, ложись!
Oh, that's probably not something you want to do. Running out in the open near the bridge like that. There's usually a lot of infantrymen on the other side. Let's see. Once you actually... Oh! Okay, so we're at the last objective. I'm gonna make a really dangerous run. Ah.
Я больше не могу!
Oh. Okay.
Двигайся, пулеметчик! Пулемет, ложись! Пулемет, двигайся, пулеметчик!
Well, there goes the squad leader. For those, I assume that there's at least one person wondering. The squad leaders, the AI squad leaders, they don't give orders, they don't assign orders to the bots. You can do that if you want. Obviously, as you can see from what I've been doing so far, it's not required. However, for AI, the position of squad leader for AI is just a, I guess an add-on title. And different guns really doesn't provide any difference for the AI. However, the players will, when you're squad leader, you can mark positions for the commander, which there is no AI commander. If you want there to be a commander, you have to be commander. So you can call in artillery strikes. I think I showed that last attempt, however I lost that recording. Oh, aerial, that's not what I thought that was. Oh, got the machine gunner. Should probably just stop wasting bullets. Alright, this is... Oh. See, like that. You probably saw that in the kill feed. That was a headshot. How do you get a headshot with an SMG while I'm running? Oh, this is not a good idea. This is not a good idea. Oh. Oh, dang it, there's another machine gunner up there. Oh my god. Alright, I'm killing that machine gunner. That's the one thing, when you start assaulting, when you start running across the bridge, that's the part that gets really frustrating. Because of course, since it's pretty much a mass assault, the machine gunners have full range. Not just the German ones, of course, as you can see right here, the Russians have full range as well. But the Germans are being smart and bunching up together. Yep, I didn't think that would be a good idea.
тебе, тварь!
Take that, Fritz. It's cool actually with the machine gunners because they're annoying, but they're effective like they would be in real life. They're a hard opponent. They're not like a assault rifle with a drum magazine and a belt. That's you know, like Call of Duty depicts them. Oh, someone saw me. I think next video I will probably, for the part 2 of the series, I think I'm going to play as the Germans. Just so you can see what it's like, because of course it's attack and defend. It's kind of it's basic, but playing as the Germans from, I don't know why I'm going across the bridge. That's not really what a sniper should be doing. Playing as the Germans. Look at that, the same guy once again. It's a different experience playing as the Germans, because of course, as you can see by how fast we've been advancing, I assume if you have a really skilled player team, it's not that big of a deal. However, if you're not careful, you're going to be retreating pretty fast. It's not like it's not constant retreat all the way to objective M, but you will be retreating. From what I remember, I remember there being a house with an upstairs. However, I think it's over there somewhere, so I'll just snipe from here. Oh. Ooh. Ha! That was Johannes. Same guy that kept killing me earlier with a headshot. I think for part 3 of this series, I'll also join one of the multiplayer games, one of the multiplayer servers that I have. Oh, well, that may not work.
But it will be short-lived.
Oh, dang, they held us off. I did not expect that. If I kept it going, we would automatically... No, the game would start over. That's how it goes. There's 2 rounds. I hope you guys enjoyed, and if you did enjoy, I recommend liking and subscribing. And if you do subscribe, turn on notifications so that way you can see when part 2 comes out. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all next time.